has not witnessed, which are oral hearsays. No? So, yung makapagbigay ng medyo credible na information are those who are at the side and experts of gases, the nature of gases. Because if we talk of gases, marami yung mga impacts. Every substance has its own characteristics. Stated earlier, sa lahat ng non-determinant, ang pinaka-dominant is yung sulfur. And during the illustration earlier, nakita natin na yung sulfur has been confined downwards because it's heavier than steam. And during also that visit, and upon dialogue with some of the BGI members, because during that time, meron na naka-recover, nag-report dun sa office nila, based on the testimony of the incident. Meron yung geotechnical geochemist na isa. Then, that was also his observation na ammonia. But we did not get it as correct already, not until ang mga findings ng different hospitals nandoon. Because it would be premature to divulge findings na wala pa yung mga basis ng facts. So, by tomorrow, we have already agreed to reconvene the multi-party monitoring team to pursue our investigation on that matter. So, as I've said, ang investigation namin would only confine now to the aftermath observation because wala naman yung actual incident. But initial findings would say that yung pinag-adjustment sa well, yung sa flow test nila, we observe the vegetation to be still green. Hindi na yung vegetation. Even the land is normal. So the problem here, which I could say, is confined to that incident of yung breathing nila ng mga substances which causes that to land. And the purpose and the objective of the investigation is geared towards what remedy or BGI would do in order not to repeat such incident happening again. So, yun ang initial statement na ibigay ko. But once we would be final in our investigation, yung MMT, we will give copy to everybody concerned para kung anong findings na natin. Until that time.
Thank you, sir, for that information. Maybe before the BGI, we will hear from other member and the representative of the BGI. Perhaps we have from Director Morales.
Magandang umaga po. Kahapon lang mag-meeting kami sa NEDA. One of those things we have taken up is the rehabilitation. And I hope we will not rehabilitate this one. Ang aking lang dito is that we would like to look at the provisions of the ECC. That's important to me. If there are prohibitions of the ECC that was not followed, then something must be done. I will make my own comment if I will have a copy of that ECC, considering that I am also a member of the monitoring team of the Provincial Risk and Disaster Committee, which Mr. Dasilio headed. Thank you.
Thank you. We would like also to hear from the academic.
On the academic side, as representative of the academic community, we would like to gather correct and accurate information so that we can also disseminate to the academic community the correct and accurate information. That's why we are here just to gather correct and accurate information. Thank you.
From the business sector, representative. Okay, I mean, we would like to hear from Board Member Chan. So I believe Friday, deliver a privilege of speech this morning.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Before I make further questions just for information of everyone, may I just read somehow the information to the rest of the members here, the privilege speech I did last Friday. Address, of course, to the Honorable Presiding Officers and the members of the Office Body. Sometime in the afternoon of June 19, a team from the Biliran Journal corporate technical staff made a flow test in one of its internal wells. The flow test will determine the volume of steam present in the said well. Technically, the amount of steam will determine the power to be generated. As the activity was in progress, an undetermined mass of unknown gas leaked from the well and went directly to the area where the staff were working. Consequently, the workers immediately suffered chest pains and difficulty in breathing in what could be attributed as toxic gas poisoning. The 8 victims were immediately brought to the Biliran Provincial Hospital for immediate treatment. 2 of the victims were airlifted to Cebu and 1 of the victims was brought to Ormoc for advanced medical attention. At around midnight the same day, it was reported that all 8 victims of the toxic gas poisoning were pronounced to be in stable condition. So while the medication was in progress, I made some interviews with the BGI staff who is a foreigner. Fortunately for information, I don't know if it's fortunately or unfortunately for the information of the people here. These patients in the Biliran Provincial Hospital were inside the ICU, intensive care unit, where my mother is presently there. So it was, as I said, maybe accidental or from above blessing to me. He told, when I was asking the foreigner, he told me that they cannot determine or identify the poisonous gas that leaked from the well. This actual scenario, Your Honors, only proved the hazardous nature of said geothermal wells. Some safety precautions are obviously not followed because it was the second time, if I may, like the geothermal well have leaked a poisonous fume which caused tangible damage to the person involved and the environment in general. In this regard, I recommended and I urged the August Body, pending investigation, to pass a legislative act to recommend the suspension of operation of BGI in Biliran until such time that the instructional safety standard on geothermal operation will be complied with. Now, in addition to that, when I went back to the hospital Friday morning, as I was trying to again interview some of the patients, the 5 patients left there, they were quite somehow, in my own perception, disturbed because the ABS-CBN people came with the camera. They did not actually answer the media men. Instead, they came to me and they talked. I noticed that one of the patients, the foreigner Johannes, if I'm not mistaken, was at bed and he was still having oxygen at that time. And I saw his face and his eyes very red. Definitely an effect of the gas. Now, if I have to go further, I told him, look, Mr. Likop, engineer, you're the geologist, and these people, the 2 foreigners were there. You said you have 30 years of experience in this particular project. What caused the lapses? To me, it was definitely negligence. If you say you are good, because from the very start we have been trying to question. If I may return back to the very first question, the only question I raised during the presentations of BGI here, including those people that the ambassador of New Zealand that was here and the rest of the foreigners. I only asked and raised one question. Can you honestly tell us? Because you only seem to present the good sides and the advantages of the thermal ban. Can you honestly tell us what could be the disadvantage or the hazard, possible hazard, about this project? They did not actually tell us anything. So to me, one of the very reasons why I raised this question now, and I will still urge and continue for this particular stoppage, is because I feel that BGI is not transparent and is not clear, not telling us the whole truth about the whole situation. So if I have to go back to what the doctors made mention a while ago, they cannot determine, or they were not able to determine what kind of gas that affected the patients. If I have to refer to what the chemist said, they just plainly tell it's ammonia. And if I have to read back what was in the BiliranIsland.com comment of Mr. or Engineer Apuada, sir, he mentioned it was pure ammonia. If we really have to go technical, ammonia in the first place is lighter than air, than steam. So normally it will not settle down. While H2S, or what we call H2S, is hydrogen sulfide, right? Is heavier than air. So that's normally the gas that settles down and goes to the ground. So I don't know which one to believe now. I am not a chemist, I'm not a geologist, but I am hoping that the BGI will tell us the truth of what is actually transpiring in their plan. I have several questions to raise actually, my friends, but I will reserve it for whatever actions you're going to take. Honestly, if I have to make a little shot at you, I was able to make a research yesterday that even the very people that works here comes from Iceland. The very study first links from Iceland itself. Study first to link geothermal gas to asthma. See it in the research, which only give me some more questions when Attorney Teo mentioned that Kevin Hessler, being the safety management, have an asthma, and the Mr. Romero have an asthma, because according to the study itself, gas emissions from geothermal plant may ultimately affect pulmonary or lungs or respiratory effects later on. That leads them to a study that that particular gas causes asthma in Iceland. And this was just done up to 2012. So I hope, before I raise so many questions, BGI can tell us what is the real truth here. Thank you.
Thank you, Member Chan. Last but not least, perhaps we will hear from the member from the DPWH before we will open the question and answer. By the way, the purpose of this meeting, this monitoring committee was created through resolution from the SP. And provision the SP passed a resolution supporting for this project of the BGI.
Thank you, sir. As far as DPWH is concerned, my role here is just to gather the relevant information so that they can report to our district for future actions.
So that's all. there any other comments or questions before we will start with the question and answer portion, so that we can come up what action are we going to do to address this problem, and perhaps this monitoring committee through a resolution can suggest to the SP or the SP to take action on this incident. It's an additional comment. Okay, from Attorney Diaz.
Yes, Mr. Chair, just an additional information since most of the guests here and our members were asking about the reporting. I would like to inform and put on record that as part of our reportorial requirement, immediately after the incident, on the night, our site manager reported the Department of Energy, and also we tried to contact the Department of Labor and Employment as part of our reportorial requirement. And also, we released a statement coming from BGI that it wasn't H2S because it wasn't controlled and it was an ammonia-like gas. The following day, we went back to the Department of Labor and Employment. We reported to and on that night also, we still reported to the Office of the Governor and the Office of the Municipal Mayor. And instead of reporting to the Philippine National Police of the Municipality of Biliran, we coordinated with Major Dan Awin, who's been with us also during the incident, having been in constant communication with him. So all these people were informed on the night of the incident. And then the following day, we had a press conference, thereby asking and requesting the presence of the media, as well as those people that we contacted and those we failed to contact the night before. So there it was the participation of the Biliran Philippine National Police was there. Mr. Chudacilio, as the representative of the Governor's Office, was present, although he's been with us since the incident occurred. So all of our reportorial requirements were complied with. The Department of Labor and Employment was there yesterday to conduct a preliminary investigation. The MMT on Saturday convened already, and tomorrow the AMT will continue. So just the information, and for the record, also all the reportorial requirements were complied with by BGI.
Okay, thank you. Are there any other information, manifestation? Maybe we can start now the question and answer portion. You can ask anything is in your observation. To the end that we can come up with a concerted action or a solution coming from this committee to address hopefully the kind of incident will not happen. Okay. First question coming from the chairman of the provincial system. You please state your question and address.
I'd like to raise this question to the technical personnel of BGI. According to our technical words now, can you differentiate gas bleeding and protest?
By the way, do we have a representative from the department?
Yes, I was actually inside.
That's the observation of this story. Then we have the visitor or some data coming from the other agency, the Saltonian, another of the provincial government, not informed.